are no illegal techniques. And what we're going to cover is we're going to cover basically first defending against biting and also on biting itself. Since you've got the camera set up, who doesn't mind having their finger nippled?
Wait, alright. Just try to stay there.
Okay. A lot of people are going to tell you, if you bit me, I just hit you. Okay? Heather. Ah, shit! Okay, I didn't bite him that hard. Okay, now I realize he just walked in the door and I probably seem like a nutcase right now. But I'm not going to snack on you. Okay? He's actually studied with me before, so in other words, I'm comfortable doing that on him. You want that for the videotape? Okay. Hit me. Ah! Fuck! Okay. Now, it's very important to understand that biting generally has that reaction. Remember what happened when Evander Holyfield got bit? Now, here we go. One of the toughest guys I've ever seen. Now, if I can take a beating and keep kicking. He got bit on the ear, and he's doing this. Okay? That's what happens. Come on, you break the skin.
No, there's black and blue.
Now, the first thing we're going to go over is biting in the stand-up engagement area. Okay, now the idea is, if I told you you had one weapon that could basically terminate almost any fight, would you want to know it? Yeah, 90% of the fights could end with a bite. Okay, so the first thing you want to think about if it's biting that you want to use is just like a headbutt. You have to bring your arm in. You have to make contact. So just like any grappler would know, boom, make contact. As soon as contact is made, okay, the idea is you bite into the radial nerve sheath. You bite into the bicep, okay? Or one of the best places to bite is for the face, okay? Simply because when you bite a chunk off of somebody's body, okay, you're going one step beyond anything he's willing to do at all. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start from the clinching position. Okay? And from the clinching position, we're going to practice the idea of isolating on body parts to set up your bite. Okay, so everybody pick a partner. Okay, you're not actually going to bite each other. What you're going to do is you're going to take your, like you don't have teeth, and you're just going to go. Now everybody starts to ask what happens if he has AIDS. Okay, very big question, and it is a legitimate question. My personal philosophy, now you gotta remember, the Cashian people, okay, when they went to war with you, okay, it was life and death, okay, somebody was dying. It wasn't a game. Now after you died, they cut your head off to free your spirit. Okay, otherwise you couldn't pass on. Okay, then the next step was they hack your chest open and eat your heart to gain your power. So if I'm planning on eating your heart anyway, it's not a major jump for me to bite your nose off. Okay, you've got to understand this is where it comes from. So the idea is, you start thinking to yourself, this is sick because these people actually made a science of biting their opponent and how to avoid being bitten. Well, it was just another technique, but a very effective technique nonetheless. If you have blood going down your sinus cavity because you had your nose bitten off, you can't breathe. You're in a state of absolute panic. You can't fight. Okay, I'm going to win, you're going to die. Now with AIDS, if I'm a cop, if I'm anybody who's being attacked for real in the street, and this is going on the assumption that you ask yourself two questions before you fight. Am I willing to die over what's at stake? Or am I willing to kill over what's at stake? And if you answer no, then you're fighting for sport. You're fighting for fun. You're fighting for ego. Okay? If you answer yes, then what you're fighting over is worth fighting over. It might be your family, it might be your life, because you're willing to die or kill to defend it. And this is the type of techniques we're talking about. We're not talking about entering like the octagon and gnawing on somebody. That would be uncalled for. We're not talking about biting somebody on the nose during a boxing match. That is uncalled for. Okay, you follow the rules of engagement. And in the street, there are no rules. So that's where we're going with this. Okay, now I know this is a little uncomfortable for some people, and I know some of you don't know me, so I probably seem like a lunatic right now. But the idea is just think to yourself that you're trying to get position to get your mouth on the person. Okay, and remember, this is something that he's not prepared for. Now with AIDS, the way I view it is he wants to kill me today, and I lose. I'm dead today. Okay, if he has AIDS, and I have an open cut in my mouth, okay, and I get AIDS by chance, okay, what's going to happen then is 5 years from now, after I've been diagnosed and everything, I may have a full-blown case of AIDS and die. I just bought myself 5 years in a bonus. I can live with that, okay? It's that simple. In other words, I'm viewing the trade-off of dying in 5 years for dying today. I'll take 5 years every time. Plus, chances are you're not going to get AIDS anyway. So the idea with this is we're going to use from the clinch, and we're going to end up weaving this into our fighting techniques. In other words, how many of you guys know how to reap a leg already? Think how much easier it would be, even if you weren't trying to demoralize him with the bite. If as you came through here and he goes to resist, just think how much easier, lay down for a second. How much easier if you're going for a key lock on somebody and he's resisting. Think how much easier it is if you bite his bicep. Okay, oh, you bit his bicep and broke his arm. Okay, end of fight. He's not fighting with you anymore. Next thing, you bite somebody, two things happen. Okay, number one, you got a chunk in your mouth. We're talking about biting it like a steak. I'm a vegetarian, I only eat pigs. Okay, so the idea is you bite it out like a chunk of steak. You're gonna have something in your mouth. Spit it out, don't swallow it. Secondly, you're gonna have a salty taste in your mouth. And you're gonna have a queasy feeling in your stomach. When you're working the techniques, visualize them, because in real life, that's what's going to happen. I have bitten people, and I can tell you from personal experience, that's exactly what happens. Just like when you stick your finger in somebody's eye, it goes goosh. And you get that like weird taste in your mouth, like, ew. Okay? That's what happens when you stick a finger in somebody's eye. So when you're practicing eye gouges later, we want you to focus on that feeling you get when it happens by accident, because it emotionally prepares you for when you're going to do it in the street. Okay, now everybody pick a partner. Preferably somebody they feel they can trust a little bit.
Marcus and I will walk over here. I got a leg time with it. You can't trust each other.
Did you want a videotape, or, because I don't know if you want to do this, or...
I'll do it, but I figure I'll take this now.
Okay.
Turn it off and then do it.
Here, you two up, and you two up. Think to yourself, and you're used to working your clinches from the knees, right? Okay. Think to yourself, you're in here like this. This is a typical tie-up guy trying to tackle you, whatever. Okay, look at your options. First guy's going to go. In other words, how hard would it be to go? Don't bite. Just put your mouth on him. A little bit of pressure. Take turns doing it on each other, feeling for that arm. I know it's uncomfortable when you do it. Okay, I know I get funny looks every time I do something like this. So it's like the idea is just look at my arm and go.
We're staying with four.
Come on, a little bite. Come on, a little bite. I'll let you know what hurts too much. That's it. Don't worry, it's okay. I let him hit me with a stick before. Okay, so the idea is, you know, you have to understand. These are valid techniques. They're no different than punching somebody in the face. Give it a try. Pass his, watch this. Pass his bicep. Would you find yourself in here? Pass his bicep like this.
Just feed it. There's something. Yeah. Well, there.
Yeah, just feed it to yourself. Yeah, literally.
Like anywhere on the corner like that, something?
Yeah.
I think he wants to take the whole thing. He's going to let it out later.
That takes 2 hours. Is that fruit?
Yeah.
Very good. Well, Keith can set his bathroom if you want. I'll pair you up with Keith.
Yeah, I just really want to have a little bit.
Oh, okay. I was going to pair you up.
when you're in the clinch, you could fight somebody.
Well, take a look at the typical headlines. Guy grabs you in a headlock. Yeah. Very easy. He's letting go. No, I'm sure you've learned, like, you know.
Yeah.
2 hours. Oh, okay.
Want to take the whole thing? Stop or?
Oh, just stop. Okay, yeah.
It's not stopping.
Okay. Now, just think. I know you probably learn is takedown and escape.
Have you hit the red button again?
Get that good shot. Will that be high enough to pick up heads and stuff? Next one. A lot of people are against doing takedowns like that in sporting competition, which is true. The idea is not to break somebody's neck when you're participating in sport. Okay? The idea is curled wrist right here. Bicep goes in to the nose. Okay, at the same time the chin comes in and up. You're actually not just grabbing. You're slapping. Boom! Remember I said in Burmese and Naban, open hand slaps and open bottom of the foot kicks are legal. Okay, so boom! Now to turn this into a fighting technique, bite his nose off.
You didn't do that.
Right. Now for realism, what we're going to do from here is blow up his nose, because it will teach your subconscious the concept that, boy, this is freaky shit. Okay, and that's what we want. We want you to know that when you bite somebody's nose off, he's not going to go, oh, that hurt. No, he's going to be crying, he's going to be whimpering, he's going to be laying on the floor in some pretty damn bad shape. Okay, so what we're doing here is you're just going to work this. First, get used to the idea of the clinch. And the clinch we use is putting his head on our shoulder and bicep. Right. And turning it. Turning it into us. You take your palm up and you slap. Boom. Once you get his head at this angle, the face comes forward. Blow up his nose and visualize biting. They're up again.
Gets your sinus.
Okay, it's kind of more or less sleep-oriented technique, including fighting, based along that line. So, first thing is just bicep to mouth. Face into the mouth. Okay, what we want people to visualize actually and we're looking at the idea that we bite through. Okay, remember you have flesh in your mouth. We have the action part. Most important part is the choke. Okay, second step, salty tasting mouth. That's the blood. Don't handle it when you get salty tasting. Visualizing it so that you know what it feels like. The next thing is the one they're working now. You drive your shoulder into his head. Now, you're a player, right? You have a tendency to grab the sleeve and push, right? Okay, you have a tendency to pull the guy's head in, drive it in here, and the idea is just coming up and slapping him. Boom! Once he's slapped, blow right up his nose. Okay, you're actually right. Now go to the guy's nose, because most of
You know, it's right, like, we're going to walk somebody.
we want to hear it.
I guess I'm
Trying to pull out, and then you kind of like, like kind of rough. Okay, so start doing that on each other. Get in a loose flow, and we'll start adding other techniques into it. She's also really slick, even in Burmese grappling, which is Naban. Okay. This is legal. Okay. That's legal. Okay. This is legal. That's legal. As long as I hit it with open hand, palm of the hand, sole of the foot. Okay. If I use my foot, my shin, my back of my hand, not legal. Okay. So the idea is when you use kind of rough at times, it's like, this is a grappling technique. It's basically because it's allowed. Okay, and this is, it's a more street-oriented idea. In other words, We're big on attacking the facial structure, the eyes, digging the fingers